Glenn Sharkey with another episode of How to Stay Motivated at Home. And guys, men, I wanted to specifically speak to you today, so let's just head outside for a bit of a chat. It is the day before Easter weekend. So it's Thursday. We're at the end of the second week of lockdown. And earlier this year I spoke to a number of construction crews for the Piratahi Alliance. 7 a.m. out on site wearing high vis. And I told them this story because two of the construction sites were off Richardson Road, which is a road in Mount Roskill. And so I told them this story. A number of years ago, a woman got a knock on her door in a house on Richardson Road. It was early in the morning and her husband was coming home from work. He had been working in Rotorua. Richardson Road is in Mount Roskill in Auckland, and she just assumed that he had either lost his key or he couldn't find his key. She eventually got up out of bed and opened the front door, and rather than her husband standing there, it was a police officer. Now you imagine what would go through your mind when you open the door early in the morning and there's a police officer standing on the doorstep. And she immediately says, what's happened, what's happened? And he identifies her as the woman in question. And he proceeds to inform her that there's been a car accident and her husband has died at the scene of a motor vehicle accident coming home from work in Rotorua. Well, she breaks down in hysterical grief, as you can imagine, and her grief, she's so grief-stricken that her family take her 9-month-old baby off her. It begins a journey of medication and mental illness for her that lasts her entire life, and the 9-month-old baby who was initially taken off her is me. That happened many years ago, obviously. On that night I lost my father, and I lost him to this. Not the coronavirus, but I lost him to drink driving. And as we head into this Easter, look, this message isn't going to be necessary for everyone, but according to the media, domestic violence is on the rise by 15%. There's a lot of guys at home, they have access to alcohol and they're drinking too much. The great news about the lockdown is that our Easter road toll is going to be reduced, and I'm sure the police are thrilled about that. But what I want to suggest to you is this. With the lockdown, you're at home a lot more. It's possible that you may be drinking more than usual. And I want to say this. If you've got a problem with drinking, drink less. And how do you know if you've got a problem with drinking? You ask your partner. Ask your partner, do you think I drink too much? And if you've got kids, ask your kids, hey kids, do you think dad drinks too much? And hopefully they're not scared of you and they can answer that question genuinely. And if you've got really little kids, you can say to them, hey, do you think daddy drinks too much? See, the more you drink, the more problems you can potentially have with your loved ones, with your family. And that's going to mean that you'll be less motivated at work. So as we head into this 4-day weekend, it's a bit strange because we're at home already and we're going to be staying home. I just want to encourage you to just take a look at your drinking. Drink responsibly. Have fun when you're drinking. But if it's causing problems, then talk to people, talk to your partner, talk to your kids. Years ago when it was Father's Day, every Father's Day for 10 years I would survey my kids. I know it sounds a bit geeky, but I would survey them and say, what do you love that Dad does? What do you wish he stopped doing, and what do you wish he did more of? And I did that when my kids were really young, and I got some incredibly insightful answers from them and changed the way that I parented. Look, if you drink, by all means, have a good time over Easter. But if your drinking is leading to problems, then please talk to your partner about it, talk to your kids about it, talk to someone else about it, because drinking too much will lead you to being less motivated at home. Have a wonderful Easter. Have a safe and happy Easter with your families.